Hi students, welcome to DS Economics channel. Today we are going to discuss 2020 February Kerala State Eligibility Test Economics Previous Year question. This is your part 2. In this part we are going to discuss from question number 41 to 80 question. So those who come for the first time, please subscribe to this channel, and those who do not watch the previous videos, they can watch the previous videos. I have given all the videos in a playlist. I have given the link of the playlist in the description box so that you can watch all the previous year videos. So let's start today's videos. Part number 2, 2020 February Kerala set. So today's first question number 41, practice of pricing to drive current competitors out of business and to discourage new entrants. It is called as price discrimination, price leadership, predatory pricing, marginal cost pricing. Practice of pricing to drive current competitors out of the business, and to discourage new entrants. So it is called as predatory pricing. There are three types of pricing: persistence, predatory, sporadic pricing. Persistence, and sporadic. So predatory pricing it involves setting prices extremely low. So here the price is extremely low, very low. The existing firm set the price of the goods very low with the intent to driving competitors out of the market, and it also discouraging new entrants. So once competitors are eliminated, the firm may then raise prices to recoup losses, but at the initial stage the existing firm lower the price at a very margin rate, very low price, so that it drive competitors out of the market, and also discourage new entrants in the market. So it is called as predatory pricing. Then question number 42, if Mr. Mac's total cost function is 2x square plus 60x plus 90, and if he repairs 12 cars, his average variable cost will be. So here Mr. Mac's total cost is given, TC is given here, 2x square plus 60x plus 90, and he repairs 12 cars. Repairs means it is the depreciation. Then his average variable cost, we have to find out the average variable cost, AC. TC given, we find out the AC. So to find out AC from TC, AC is equal to what? AC is equal to TC by Q, or we can say here X is quantity, so TC by X. So first we have to find out the value of TC. Here in TC, total cost, there are two concepts. First one is total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Total cost is a combination of total fixed cost and total variable cost. So here total fixed cost, here 90 is called as total fixed cost, and 2x square plus 60, it is called as total variable cost. Here fixed cost is equal to 90 plus variable is equal to 2x square plus 60. So here variable is x. Here variable is x, because variable cost means what? It is the part of the cost function that depends on x. Here depends on x is equal to 2x square plus 60x. It depends on x. So here the value of x is equal to 12. Here 12 cars given repair, so value of x is equal to 12. Now we can substitute the value of x in TVC, total variable cost. So total variable cost is equal to 2x square plus 60x. 2x square plus 60x. This implies 2 into x value is 12, 2 into 12 square plus 60 into 12. This implies it is equal to 2 into 12 square is equal to 144 plus 60 into 12 is equal to 72, means 700 20. Then 2 into 144 is equal to 288 plus 720 is equal to 1008. So here TVC is equal to total variable cost is equal to 1008. Then now we can find the value of AVC. AVC is equal to TVC by X. So total variable cost is equal to 1008 by X value is equal to 12. So its value is 84. 1008 by 12 is equal to 84. So here the value of AVC, average variable cost, is equal to 84. So right option is option number C, 84. Then question number 43. Sita's utility function UAV is equal to AB, where A and B are the number of apples and oranges respectively that C consumes. So the two goods, consumption of two goods, one is apple and orange. So when C is consuming 25 apples and 100 oranges, then if we put apples on the horizontal axis and oranges on the vertical axis, the slope of the indifference curve at her current consumption is. So apple and orange, apple is on the horizontal axis and orange is on the vertical axis. Orange represent B. So AB. So when she consume 25 apples and 100 oranges, so combination is 25 apples plus 100 oranges. Then the slope of the indifference curve at her current consumption. So we have to find out the slope of the indifference. So what is the slope of the indifference curve? The slope of the indifference curve, it is called as MRS, marginal rate of substitution. The slope of the indifference curve is, we know, MRS. So MRS means which is the ratio of the marginal utility of one good to the marginal utility of other good. So here now we can find out the UAB is equal to A into B. So utility of AB is equal to A into B. So first we find out the marginal utility of A is equal to del U of AB with respect to A is equal to, when we substitute the value of AB with respect to only A, then B is constant, A value is 1, so B into 1 is equal to B. Such that, like that, we also find out the marginal utility of B is equal to del U AB by del A is equal to only A. So marginal utility of A is equal to B and marginal utility of B is equal to A. Then we find out the value of MRS. So MRS is equal to negative of MUA by MUB, marginal utility of A by marginal utility of B. So marginal utility of A value is equal to B. So B by A minus B by A. So minus B by A minus B, B value is equal to 100 and A value is equal to 25. So minus 100 by 25. So 25 for the 100. So minus 4. So right answer is minus 4. The MRS value is minus 4. Minus 4 is in the option number B. So here right option is B. So here right option is option number B, minus 4. Then question number 44. Imposing tariff on import, tariff on import leading to a fall in the relative price of that product is explained in Leontief paradox, Beque's effect, Maslow's paradox, income effect. So imposing tariff on an import leading to a fall in relative price of that particular product, it is called as Maslow's paradox. Maslow's paradox, what explain? Maslow's paradox explain a situation where imposing a tariff on imports can lead to a decrease in the domestic price of the imported goods. So when domestic price of the imported goods decrease, This paradox occurs under specific condition where the terms of trade effect outweighs the direct effect of the tariff. So it resulting in a fall in the relative price of the imported product. So it is called as Maslow's paradox. So Maslow's paradox, what it explain? What is Maslow's paradox? The Maslow's paradox is a theoretical concept in international trade that suggests an unusual outcome when a country imposes a tariff on the imports. When country imposes tariff on the imports, then instead of raising the domestic price of the imported goods, the price actually falls. Here the price is actually falls, but when we impose tariff, then the domestic price should rise, but here the price domestic price actually falls. How it falls? If we see in a typical scenario, imposing a tariff, it increases the domestic price of the imported goods because the tariff acts as an added cost. However, the Maslow's paradox occurs when the tariff causes such a significant improvement in the country's terms of trade. When tariff imposes, it improves the terms of trade. Improve the terms of trade means the ratio of the export price to import price increases. Then that the world price of the imported goods drops by more than the tariff itself. So as a result, the domestic price of the imported goods can decrease even with the tariff in place. So this paradoxical outcome hinges on a strong terms of trade effect where the tariff alters global market prices and benefits the country imposing the tariff to an unusual extent. So it depends on very specific condition in the global economy, such as how sensitive the world market is to change in the trade policy. So in reality, this paradox is considered rare and mostly a theoretical possibility, but it exists. So, and this was given by Maslow. So it is called as Maslow's paradox. Then question number 45. The implication of Ricardian equivalence is that first one is government debt is equivalent to future tax, and if consumers are sufficiently forward looking, future taxes are equivalent to current taxes. It is right. Then financing the government by debt is equivalent to financing it by taxes. So these two concepts are correct according to Ricardian equivalence theory. So both A and B are correct here. So Ricardian equivalence, it is an economic theory suggesting that consumers are forward looking and fully anticipate the future taxes that will be required to pay off government debt. So as a result, government borrowing doesn't affect the overall level of demand in the economy because individuals will save today in anticipating of higher taxes tomorrow. So individual save today in anticipation of higher taxes tomorrow. So hence financing government expenditure through debt is seen as equivalent to financing it through current taxes. So both the statements are correct here. Then question number 46. Which of the following statements are correct with respect to law of variable proportion? So law of variable proportion, short run concept, law of variable proportion. The shape of the average product, marginal product of the variable factor, say labor, are determined by the shape of TR curve. There are, in law of variable proportion, there are generally three main curves. One is TP or TR, then the maximum point of TR, it is the MR, and it is AR. So first one is TR, then when TR is maximum, MR is 0, and then negative. In third stage, TR down and marginal revenue, it is negative. But AR never negative, it is decreasing but not 0. So the shape of the average product and marginal product of the variable factor like labor are determined by the shape of the TR curve. Yes, by the shape of the TR curve. TR curve determine the shape of the MR and AR curve. This is right, because when TR increases, MR increase, then when TR maximum MR 0, and when TR decreases MR negative. And TR just like MR and AR shape, it's in. Then APL, average product of labor, rises, reaches a maximum and then falls. APL first rises, then maximum, then fall, and but remain positive as long as TP is positive. Yes, here AR or AP, average product, here average product never zero, AP or average revenue never zero, because it is positive. When TR increases, AR increases. When TR maximum, AR increases. Then when TR decreases, AR decrease, but not zero. This is correct. Option B is right. Then the MPL rises. When MPL, marginal productive labor, rises, reaches a maximum. MPL rises and reaches a maximum, and after APL reaches its maximum and then declines. No, here we can say MPL rises, reaches a maximum after APL reaches. No, here the maximum point of MPL is before the APL, or maximum point of MR curve is before the AR curve. So this is not correct, because here it says MPL rises, reaches a maximum after APL reaches. No, before APL reaches, MPL become maximum and then declines. Then both declines, but before. This is not after. So option C is incorrect. Only A and B are correct here. So 46 right option is option number A. Then question number 47, the sum of currency and bank reserve are called monetary base, high powered money, both A and B, neither. So the sum of currency and bank reserve. Currency and bank reserve. First one is monetary base, currency, and high powered money, bank reserve. So this is the sum of the central currency and bank reserve. So both A and B are correct, because the sum of the currency means currency in circulation, and bank reserve. Bank reserve is commonly referred as both monetary base as well as high powered money. So it is called as monetary and high powered money. These terms are used interchangeably to describe the total amount of money in the economy that is under the control of the central bank, which includes currency in circulation and reserve held by the banks at the time at the central bank. So both A and B are right here. Then question number 48, an increase in money supply shift the LM curve rightward. When money supply increase, LM curve shift to the rightward, resulting in, when money supply increases, LM curve shift to rightward, means LM1 shift to rightward. It shift to rightward, it result in increase in the rate of interest and increase in level of output, decrease in rate of interest, decrease in level of output, or decrease in rate of interest and decrease in level of output, or decrease in rate of interest and increase in level of output. So when an increase in the money supply shift the LM curve to the right, which typically leads to a lower interest rate. Here interest rate become lower interest rate and higher level of output. Here interest rate lower and output is higher. So the lower interest rate stimulate investment. Here when interest rate decreases, it stimulate what? It increase investment. Here when interest rate is decrease, then investment rises. The lower interest rate stimulate investment, and when investment rises, then consumption also rises, resulting in an increase in aggregate demand. When consumption rises, aggregate demand of the economy rises. When aggregate demand rises, consequently it leads to higher output. So output also, when aggregate demand rises, output also rises. So an increase in money supply shift the LM curve rightward, resulting in a decrease in rate of interest. Rate of interest decreases, first decrease in rate of interest and increase in the level of output. Here interest rate decreases and output increases. When interest rate falls, investment rise. When investment rise, consumption also rises, and when consumption rises, total aggregate demand rises, and when aggregate demand rises, output also rises. So option D is right here. Then question number 49, the absorption approach of devaluation was developed by Sidney Alexander, Jacob Weiner, Midrell, or Michael Spence. So the absorption approach given by Alexander, Sidney Alexander. Option A is right. What is absorption approach? Absorption approach to devaluation was developed by Sidney Alexander. This approach focuses on the impact of devaluation on a country's trade balance by analyzing the relationship between national income and domestic absorption. Domestic absorption means consumption, investment, government spending. So the relationship between national income and consumption, investment, or government spending. So it is called as absorption approach. This was given by Sidney Alexander. Then question number 50, given the Mondale-Fleming model, an increase in the rate of interest in a country, say a country A. So according to Mondale-Fleming model, when increase in the rate of interest, it results in generally results in an depreciation. No, when it create appreciation, it results in appreciation of country's air currency in a flexible exchange rate environment. So option B is right here, because in the Mondale-Fleming model, under a flexible exchange rate regime, an increase in the domestic interest rate in country A makes domestic assets more attractive to foreign investor. So this leads to an increase in the demand for country's A currency, causing its value to appreciate. So here option B is right, results in an appreciation of country's A currency in a flexible exchange rate environment. Then question number 51, J curve effect. Explain that. What is J curve effect? Explain. When a currency depreciates, the value of net export rises temporarily, then falls. When a currency depreciates, the value of net export falls. First it falls, then it rises. First worsen, then increase. When a currency depreciates, the value of the net export first falls temporarily, then rises. When a currency appreciates, the value of net export rises temporarily. Not appreciate, it is depreciate. Then when a currency depreciates, the value of net export remain constant. No, none of this. So here, when J curve effect explain, what J curve effect explain? J curve effect explain that when a currency depreciate, the trade balance initially worsen or down before improving over time. So this is because in the short run, the prices of import rise and the volume of export and import may not adjust immediately. But over time, however, as export volume increases and import of volume decreases due to the relative price changes, the J curve balance improves, resembling a shape like J curve. First worsen or down, minimum down or loss, then it increases. When a currency depreciates, the volume of net export first falls temporarily for a temporary time, and after a time period, then it again rises. So this is create a shape like J. So this is called as J curve. But here any one of the option are not directly indicating the concept of J curve. But if in the question option number A, if when a currency depreciates, the value of net export should be false first temporarily, then it rises. So this is a slightly mistake. But if we take a currency appreciate, then this is not right. We saw in J curve, we saw when currency depreciate, then the result. What the result? First it net export falls, then rises. So here none of the above is the right option, because any one of the above didn't match with the J curve effect. So if this type of situation arises, then option A is right, otherwise none of the above. Then question number 52, an explanation of deterioration in terms of trade with respect to primary products exporting countries is provided by gross butter terms of trade, single previous thesis, backwash effect, or none of this. So this is called as Singer previous thesis. So in the Singer previous thesis, it explains the long-term deterioration in the terms of trade for countries that export primary products. So according to this thesis, the prices of primary goods such as agricultural product, raw materials, it tend to decline relative to the price of manufactured goods over time. So one is primary good and other is final good, manufactured goods. So primary good price declines and manufactured goods price rises over time. So it lead to worsen the terms of trade for countries that are heavily reliant on primary product export. So it affect badly the terms of trade of the country that is heavily reliant on the primary product export. So it is called as Singer previous thesis. Then question number 53. If the cost function Cx for producing x quantity of a product is given by Cx is equal to 500x square plus 2500x plus 5000 and each unit of the product is sold as 6000, then what are the break even points? So you have to find out the break even. So in this question, to find the break even points, we need to determine the value of x. Here we have to determine the value of x, where break even point, first we find out the value of x where TR, total revenue, is equal to total cost. Then if each unit of product is sold at 6000, then here TR is equal to 6000 into x. TR means what? Price into quantity. So here price is 6000 and quantity is x, because x quantity is given. So total revenue is equal to 6000x. Then we can write the equation as total cost. Here TR, total revenue, is equal to, this is the equation, 500x square plus 2500x plus 5000. Then by substituting these values, if we write here 500x square plus 2500x minus 6000x plus 5000 is equal to 0. This implies 500x square plus 25 minus 60, value is minus 35. So minus 3500x plus 500 is equal to 0. So now we simplify the equation by dividing 500 in both sides. If we divide 500 to simplify the value, here 500 cancel, then 3500 by 500, it is 500 7 35, so it is 7. Then 500 and here 500, 5 10s are 50. So here the equation is, now the equation is only x square minus 7x plus 10 is equal to 0. So here we solve the equation and we get the value. To solve it, we use the factorization method. So x square minus 7x, we so factorize it by minus 5x minus 2x plus 10 is equal to 0. So here x square minus 5x minus 2x plus 10 is equal to 0. This implies from first two term we take x as common, so here x minus 5, then from these two we take minus 2 as common, then x minus 5 is equal to 0. So here one is x minus 5, another is x minus 2. Here one is x minus 5 and another is x minus 2. So x minus 5 and another is x minus 2 is equal to 0. So here x is equal to 5 and another x is equal to 2. So here value of x is equal to 5 and 2. So the break even points are 5 and 2. So option B is right here. Then question number 54. Given below an assertion and reason statement regarding Okun's law, it states that. So here Okun's law, first one is assertion an annual 2.5% increase in the rate of real growth results in a decrease in the rate of unemployment. So here assertion is true because according to Okun's law, there is an inverse relationship between growth rate of real GDP and the unemployment rate. So specifically when real GDP growth by more than a certain threshold, often cited as around 2.5% per year, then unemployment tends to decrease. So when real growth rises, unemployment decreases. This is right according to Okun's law. Then reason is production occurs with the employment of more economic resources and therefore there should be fewer unemployed workers at higher level of output. This is also true because the reason for this relationship is that higher level of production or that is real GDP growth typically requires more labor, which leads to the employment of more economic resources, reducing the number of unemployment workers. So the reason is also right here. So the right option for question number 54 is both assertion and reason are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Then question number 55. Dash shows the degree of bigness of a distribution usually taken relative to normal distribution. So relative to normal distribution, dash shows the degree of bigness. Degree of bigness shows by kurtosis. Kurtosis, we know kurtosis measures the degree of bigness or flatness of a distribution usually relative to the normal distribution. So it indicates how heavy the tails of the distribution are and how sharply peaked the distribution is. There are three types of distribution: leptokurtic, mesokurtic and platykurtic. So when the bigness is large, it is called leptokurtic. When it is normal size, then mesokurtic, medium size, and when it is very flat, then it is called as platykurtic. Then question number 56. Suppose in an economy having two sectors, let C is equal to $50 plus 0.5y and I is equal to $50 minus 2i and L is equal to 0.1y minus 5i and M is equal to $150. Find out the ISLM equation. So here C, I, L and M are given. We have to find out the IS and LM equation. To find out IS and LM equation, we have to first data given are first C and I. We know that aggregate demand is equal to C plus I. So here C plus I, aggregate demand is equal to C plus I. So C plus I, then C is equal to 50 plus 0.5y plus second one is I is equal to 50 minus 2y. So I is equal to 50 minus 2y. This is equal to 50 into 50. So you can simplify the equation by multiplying this value and a plus. So I write the final answer. Final answer is equal to 100 plus 0.5y minus 2i. So aggregate demand is equal to 100 plus 0.5y minus 2i. Here 2i. Then we find out the goods market equilibrium. Goods market equilibrium is equal to IS. So goods market equilibrium, or we can say IS equation is equal to here aggregate demand is equal to Y. Here aggregate demand is equal to Y. This implies Y is equal to aggregate demand value is 100 plus 0.5 Y minus 2Y. So from this equation we find out the value of I. So Y is equal to 100 plus 0.5 Y minus 2Y. This implies Y minus 0.5 Y is equal to Y minus 0.5 Y is equal to we write 100 minus 2Y. 100 minus 2Y. This implies what? Y minus 0.y. Y minus 0.y is equal to means 1y minus 0.y. So 1 minus 0.5 is equal to 0.5y. So 0.5y is equal to 100 minus 2i. So 0.5y is equal to 100 minus 2y. This implies y is equal to 100 minus 2i by 5. 100 minus 0.5y, or we substitute the second value. Suppose this implies 100 minus 2i. 100 minus 2i is equal to 0.5y. This implies by substituting the value, I write the final answer. I is equal to 100 minus 0.5 y. 100 minus 0.5 y by 2. So 100 minus 0.5 y by 2. 100 by 2 is equal to 50, and 0.5 y by 2 is equal to 50 minus 0.25 y. So its final answer is equal to minus 0.25 y plus 50, because here given IS equation 0.25 y plus 50. So right option is equal to 0.25, yes, minus 0.25. So here minus 0.25 y plus 50 IS equation. So here IS equation given is minus 0.25 y plus 50. Now we find out the value of LM equation, or money market equilibrium. So let's find out the value of money market equilibrium, or LM equilibrium. So here question given is direct L value and M value given. So here L is equal to M. This implies L value is equal to 0.1 y minus 5y. So 0.1 y minus 5i is equal to M is equal to 150. M is equal to 150. So now we solve the equation out. So we solve the equation by 0.1 y minus 150 is equal to 5i. Now we just substitute the value there. So 0.1 y minus 150 is equal to 5i. This implies 5i is equal to 0.1 y minus 150, 5i. Then I is equal to what? Just divide 5. I is equal to 0.1 y minus 150 by 5. So when we divide 5, 0.1 y by 5. So 0.1 by 5 means when we divide 0.1 by 5, its value is 0.02 y and minus 150 by 5. 150 by 5, 5 3 is 15, so 30 minus 30. So its value is minus 30. So 0.02 y minus 30. 0.02 y minus 30. Here 0.02 y minus 30 Actually it's 0.02. Its value is 0.02, not to 0.02. So here equation, here option A is right. Is value is minus 0.25 y plus 50 and Lm is equal to 0.02 y minus 30. So here 0.02 y minus 30. Option A is right here. Then question number 57. In game theory modeling, strategy in which a player makes a random choice among two or more possible outcomes based on the set of chosen probabilities, it is called pure strategy, maximum strategy, minimax strategy, maximin, minimax, or mixed strategy. So it is called as mixed strategy. When strategy in which a player makes a random choice among two or more possible outcome based on the set of chosen probability, it is called as mixed strategy, because in game theory a mixed strategy involves a player making random choices among two or more possible strategies according to a specific set of probability. So this is called as mixed strategy, and mixed strategy opposite is pure strategy. So pure strategy, in pure strategy, where a player consistently choosing a single strategy. Here in pure strategy, the player choose a single strategy, but in mixed strategy it involves a player making random choices among two or possible strategy. So it is called as mixed strategy. Then question number 58. A increase in government expenditure under classical system. A increase in government expenditure under classical system will what it will explain? Increase the interest rate, decrease the interest rate, no change in the interest rate, or first increases then decreases. So increase in government expenditure under classical system. When under classical system, when government expenditure increases, it has no change in the interest rate, because in classical economics says that there is no intervention or minimal activities of government. So in classical system, an increase in government expenditure would indeed affect the interest rate due to changes in the demand for funds. However, the classical view traditionally assumes that the money supply adjusts to accommodate changes in the demand. Given this perspective, the effect of increased government spending might be neutralized by an equal adjustment in the money supply. This is because the increase in government expenditure is matched by an increase in money supply, leaving interest rate unchanged. So it is the concept of classical. Classical says that no change in the interest rate. So 59. According to Cambridge version of quantity theory of money, the demand for money is proportional to nominal income. Yes, in Cambridge equation, Cambridge version of quantity theory of money, this says that the demand for money is proportional to the nominal income. How? In the Cambridge version of quantity theory of money, the demand for money is proportional to the nominal income. This version is represented by a equation. We say the equation is MD is equal to K into Y. MD is equal to KY. So here MD means the demand for money, and K means K is the proportion of income that people wish to hold as money, and here Y is the nominal income. So this is the equation, and according to Cambridge version, the demand for money is proportional to the nominal income. Option A is right. Then question number 60. In the money supply, M3 is defined as M3. In M1 we include C plus DD plus OD. Then M2 M1 plus post office saving. Then M3 M1 plus time deposit. So in the money supply M3, it is defined as M1 plus time deposit with 60. Right option is C, M1 plus time deposit with banks. It is called as M3, broad money. Then question number 61. In situation of liquidity trap in an economy, when liquidity trap arises in an economy, this is called as liquidity trap. Interest rate is very minimal, or suppose 2%. So here fiscal policy ineffective, monetary policy effective, monetary policy ineffective, fiscal policy effective, or both monetary and fiscal policy effective, or both monetary and fiscal policy are ineffective. So in the situation of liquidity trap, here monetary policy not work, because here interest rate is very low, so people want to hold money. So here a monetary policy not effective, but fiscal policy is effective here. So monetary policy is ineffective in liquidity trap, and fiscal policy is effective. How? In liquidity trap, the economy is in a situation where monetary policy becomes ineffective. This occurs when interest rate are at near to zero and people prefer to hold onto cash rather than investing in financial assets. So in this scenario, traditional monetary policy cannot further lower interest rate to stimulate the economy. So however, fiscal policy, here fiscal policy can still be effective in a liquidity trap situation. Fiscal policy, it involves government spending and taxation, which can stimulate demand directly regardless of the low interest rate. Here fiscal policy do what? Fiscal policy involves in government spending and taxation. That's why it stimulates the demand directly. So here fiscal policy is effective in the case of liquidity trap. Then question number 62, list 1, list 2, Milton Friedman, Robert Mondale, Mrs. Joan Robinson, Cal Menzer. First one is Milton Friedman. Milton Friedman is associated with monetarism. Milton Friedman, monetarism. Then Mondale, Robert Mondale, related with supply side economics. Then Mrs. Joan Robinson related with Keynesian economics, and Carl Menger related with Australian school, Carl Menger. So A3, B for C2, D1. A3, B for C2, D1. Option A is right here. Then question number 63, according to new classical economics. According to new classical economics, anticipated policy changes bring about changes in real variable, or unanticipated policy changes can bring about changes in real variable. Yes, according to new classical, unanticipated policy changes can bring about changes in real variable. So option B is right here. How? New classical economics argue that if policy changes are anticipated, individuals will adjust their behavior accordingly, and such anticipated changes will not affect real variable like output or employment due to rational expectation. However, unexpected or unanticipated policy changes might have real effect because they disrupt the equilibrium temporarily. So here option B is right, unanticipated policy. Then question 64, according to monetarism, money supply has dominant influence of national nominal income. Yes, this is true, because monetarists believe that changes in money supply have a direct and significant impact on the nominal income, that is the total spending of the economy. So this is right according to monetarism. Then option second, in the short run, money supply influences real variable. Yes, monetarists believe that while there can be short-term effects, the long-term focus is on nominal variables. So this is right. Then option C, in the long run, money supply influence only the nominal variables and not real variables. So in the long run, this is true, because monetarists argue that in the long run, changes in the money supply only affect nominal variables like price level and not real variables like output or employment. So this is right. Then option D, private sector is inherently stable. This is also true according to monetarism, which often assumes that the private sector is stable and that instability arises from poor monetary policy. So option D is also right. So all are true here according to monetarism. Then question number 65, a reduction in money wages will bring down the price of goods, which in turn increases the money supply. This reduces the interest rate and hence induces investment, and aggregate demand is enhanced with result in increase in output and employment. This is the effect of Keynes effect, Pigou wealth or real balance effect. This is called as Keynes effect because the Keynes effect, it describes the relationship between changes in the price level, real money balance and economic activity. Here given step by step. First one is what? First one is it reduce the interest rate, and first one is a reduction in money wages. Yes, first one is a reduction in money wages. When money wages reduction, first money wage reduce. When money wage decreases, this often leads to a reduction in the overall price level of the goods and services in the economy, because money wages decrease and price level also decrease. Lower wages mean lower production cost, which can lead to lower prices for consumers. Then second one, it will bring down the price of goods, price level decreases, which in turn increases the money supply, and when it increases, then only money supply increases. This reduces the interest rate. So it increase the money supply or increase in real money supply. How money supply increase? As prices fall, price of the goods fall, the real value of the money supply increases. So this is because the same nominal amount of money now has greater purchasing power in the context of lower prices. So it results to decrease in interest rate. So this reduce interest rate. So here when money supply increases, it reduce the interest rate. How interest rate reduce? With an increased real money supply, the same nominal money supply, there is more money available relative to the demand for money. So this surplus of money leads to lower interest rate as the cost of borrowing decreases. So this leads to hence induce investment. So it induce investment or increase investment rise. How investment rise? When lower interest rate make borrowings cheaper for businesses. Consequently, businesses are more likely to invest in new project and expand their operation, because now interest rate is lower to borrow. So investment rises. Then when investment rises, it leads to aggregate demand is enhanced. So here aggregate demand enhanced. When investment rises, aggregate demand in the economy rises. So how enhance aggregate demand? It increased. When increased investment boost aggregate demand, as businesses purchase more goods and services and possibly hire more workers. So here aggregate demand rises. When aggregate demand rises, which results in increase in output and employment. So when aggregate demand rises, it increases output and employment. Output and employment rises. How? As aggregate demand rises, firms increase production to meet the higher demand. When production increases, which can lead to the increase in output and employment. So this is the total effect. When money wage decrease, price level decrease, money supply rises, interest rate falls, investment rise, aggregate demand rises, it leads to more production and more output and employment rises. So thus the Keynes effect captures how a fall in the price level, often driven by a reduction in money wages, can lead to lower interest rate and increased economic activity through higher investment and aggregate demand. So this is the total effect. This is called as Keynes effect. Then question number 66. Suppose nominal GDP is equal to 500 in year 1, and if GDP deflator doubles by year 6, while real output has increased 40%, nominal output in year 6 is, we have to find out the value of nominal output. Here real GDP in year 1 is given by, we know that real GDP, how to calculate? Nominal GDP by GDP deflator. So let's assume that GDP deflator in year 1. Here GDP deflator is not given, but we take as 100. So base year index, GDP deflator, we suppose GDP deflator is we take as 100. Then we find out the value. Here real GDP in year 1. So here real GDP in year 1 is equal to what? 500 by 100, because real GDP, how we calculate real GDP? Nominal GDP by GDP deflator. Here nominal GDP is equal to 500. Nominal GDP 500 by 100. 500 by 100 is equal to 5. So real GDP in year 1 is equal to 5 in the base year price. Then real GDP in year 6 is equal to, year 6 is equal to 5 into 1 plus 0.40, because 40%. So 1 plus 0.40 means 5 into 1.40. 1 plus 0.40 is equal to 1.40. So 5 into 1.40 is equal to 7. So here GDP, real GDP in year 1 is equal to 5 and real GDP in year 6 is equal to 7. Now the GDP deflator doubles by year 6. In year 6 the real GDP deflator how many times? Double. So if the GDP deflator in year 1 is 100, then in year 6, if GDP deflator in year 1 is equal to 100, in year 6 its value is double. So 100 into 2 is equal to 200. In year 6 it is 200. Then nominal GDP, here if the GDP deflator in 100, then in year 6 it is 200. Then we have to find out the nominal GDP. So nominal GDP is equal to real GDP into GDP deflator. Real GDP into GDP deflator. So real GDP value is equal to 7. Real GDP in here in year 6 is equal to 7 into GDP deflator. GDP deflator value is equal to 200. So 7 into 200 is equal to 1400. So here right option is 1400. Option number B is right, 1400. Then question number 67. When the value of K is equal to 4, L is equal to 4, the production function is Y is equal to A into K to the power 0.5 and L to the power 0.5. Then output is, so just we substitute the value and find out the answer. So first one is Y is equal to A into K to the power 0.5 and L to the power 0.5. So if the value of, we just substitute the value, A into K value is 4 to the power 0.5 and into L value is also 4 to the power 0.5. So here A into 4 to the power 0.5 value is 2. So A into 2 into, then again 4 to the power 0.5 value is equal to 2. So A into 2 into 2 means A into 4. So A into 4. Here the value of total production function Y is equal to, we get the value is equal to 4A. So here we find out the output. So here output, see that when A is equal to 5, here given option A and C, A is equal to 5 and option B and D are A is equal to 10. So we have to substitute the value of A in this equation, then what result we found. So first we take the value A is equal to 5. So when A is equal to 5, then Y is equal to 5 into 4. 5 into 4 is equal to 20. And when A is equal to 10, then Y is equal to 5 into 10. 10 into 4, 10 into 4 is equal to 40. So when we take the value of A is equal to 5, then its value is equal to 20. A 5, then it is 20. And when we take the value of A is equal to 10, then it is 40. So A 5, value is 20. So here neither A and C are 20, and when you take the value of A is equal to 10, then Y is equal to 40, output is equal to 40. So option D is, only option D is right here. So D is right. Then question number 68, find the total cost of a commodity when marginal cost MC is equal to 5 plus 8x and fixed cost is 75. Here MC is equal to 5 plus 8x and FC is equal to 75. We have to find out the total cost. So we have to find out the total cost from marginal cost. But if we find out the value of if here generally TC is given, we have to find out the value of MC. From TC we find out the value of MC. MC is equal to del TC, or derivative of TC with respect to del x or dx or quantity. But here MC given, we have to find out the value of TC. So from TC, if we find the value of MC, we solve it by its derivative. So from MC we find out the value of MC, find out the value of TC from MC. So it is just the opposite of derivative. So opposite of derivative is called integration, because first here if we find out the value of TC, now to find the TC of the commodity we need to integrate the marginal cost to get the variable cost and then fixed cost. So here TC is equal to integration of MC into dx, because the opposite of derivative is integration. So here we integrate the value. So integration of MC with respect to dx is equal to integration of MC value is equal to 5 plus 8x into dx. So integration of 5 plus 8x is equal to 5. The integration is just opposite 5x. Then integration of 8x is equal to 8x square by 2. So 2 for the 8 plus c. So here 5x plus 4x square, 5x plus 4x square plus c. So 5x plus 4x square, and c means constant. So constant means here, constant means fixed cost. So constant means here fixed cost, it is called as constant. So 5x square plus 4x plus c. In place of c we can write the value of constant, that is 75. So total cost equation is equal to 5x square plus 5x plus 4x square plus 70. So right option is C. So now we cross check the value. If total cost is equal to 5x square plus 4x plus 75, then when we find out the value of MC, we derive its value. So derivation of 5x plus 4x square plus 75 is equal to 5x derivative is equal to 5 plus 4x square derivative is equal to 2 into 4, that is 8x. So 5 plus 8x, or we can say 8x plus 5. So 8x plus 5 or 5 plus 8x. So this is the right option, because we cross check also the value of MC is 5 plus 8x. The option C is right here. Then question number 69. In this part there are very more question are from mathematical part. So to solve the mathematical problem, it is time taken, so the video is lengthy, but we solve bit by bit. So question number 69 is, arithmetic mean of 100 items is 34. At the time of calculation, 3 items 118, 70, 19 were wrongly taken as 180, 17 and 19 respectively. So what is the correct mean? This is the general question. Arithmetic mean of total 100 item is equal to 34. So at the time of calculation, 3 items 118, 70 and 19 were wrongly taken, and wrongly taken as 118 to 180, 70 to 17 and 19, in place of 19 we write as 90. So first we calculate the mean of the wrong, then right, then substitute, then we find out the correct mean. So first, incorrect total sum is equal to, incorrectly total sum is equal to 100 items is equal to 34. So and arithmetic mean of 100 items, total 100 and items is 34. So incorrectly total sum first incorrect is equal to 34 into 100 is equal to 3400. Then find the difference due to errors. So difference due to errors 118 and it is written as 180. So 180 minus 118 is equal to what? 62. Then second is 17, that is in place of 70. So 70 minus 17, it is equal to 53. Then third one is 19. So 19 minus 90 is equal to minus 71. Yes, minus 71. So here in first we also deduct from 118 to 180. So this is 118 minus 180 minus 1, it is minus 62. So minus 62 plus 53 minus 71. So its value is total error value is minus 62 minus 71 plus 53. So minus 62 and 71, that is value is 3, it is 13, 133. So minus 133 plus 53. So when we deduct 53, 3 minus 3 0, then 13 minus 5 8, 80 minus 80. So its value is equal to minus 80, means minus 80 is equal to total error. Then correct, we find out it is the total sum of incorrect. Then we find out the total sum of correct number. Correct number is equal to 3400 minus 80, or we can say minus plus. So 30 is equal to minus plus. So here 33480. No, we minus the value of 80 was minus. So here we minus the value of 80. Then 3400 minus 80 is equal to 3320. So value is 3320. Now we find out the value of mean. Mean is equal to total sigma x by n. So total value is 3320 by n, number of items is equal to 100. So 3320 by 100 is equal to 33.20. So 33.20 in the option number A. Option number A, 33.22 means 20, 33.20. So A is right here. Option A is right here. Then question number 70. The coefficient of variation of a data set is 20% and the variance of the set is 16. What is the mean of the data set? Coefficient of variation. Here coefficient of variation CV, coefficient of variation is equal to, formula is sigma means standard deviation, sigma by mu into 100. Sigma means standard deviation by mean into 100. Formula is standard deviation by mean into 100. So here this implies we can find out the, now we find out the value of sigma. We know the value of sigma is equal to variance square sigma, or standard deviation is equal to variance square. Here variance is given as, variance value is 16. So root of 16 is equal to 4. So here we find the value of standard deviation, that is 4. So just here put the value. So this implies standard deviation is equal to 4 by mu or mean, 4 by mu into 100. So CV means CV, coefficient of variation data set, is equal to 20. So here we can write as 20%. So 20 is equal to 4 by mu into 100. So just replace the value to find out the value of mu. So 4 by mu or mean is equal to 20. 20 by 100, 20 by 100 is equal to 0.2. So 4 by mean is equal to 0.2. This implies mean or mu is equal to 4 by 0.2. So 4 by 0.2 is equal to 20. So here right option is 20. So option B is right here. Then question number 71. What is the probability of getting a spade or a king from a pack of 52 cards? So to solve the problem, we need to find out the probability of drawing either a spade or a king from a standard deck of 52 cards. So first count the total cards. Though in a card there are total 52 number of cards. So first find out the total number of spade. So there are 4 types of cards there. One is spade, then heart, then diamond, then club. So number of spade is equal to 13. Spade is equal to 13, heart 13, diamond 13, club 13, and number of now kind the number of king. Number of king is equal to in all one king is there in spade, king of spades, king of heart, king of diamond, and king of club. So king is 4 kings in a deck. So one king per suit. Now there is one card that is both spade and a king. That is common card. So king of spade. So we don't want to double count this card. So here we have now the probability of drawing a spade or king can be calculated as probability of spade or king is equal to number of spade plus number of king. Number of spade plus number of king minus number of king, that is spade or king of spade. We have to minus this value because it is repeated for 2 times. If we don't minus, then it is divided by total number of cards. So divide by total cards. So is equal to number of spade is equal to 13 plus number of king is equal to 14. So 13 plus 13 plus 4, and king of spade is equal to 1 minus 1 whole divided by total number of cards is equal to 52. So 13 plus 17 minus 1 by 52. So 17 minus 1 by 1 is equal to 16 by 52. So 4 for the 16 and 4 13 the 52. So 4 by 13 is right option. So 4 by 13 given in the option number D. So here D is right. Then question number 72. It is given that 3% of the electric bulbs manufactured by a company are defective. Using Poisson distribution, find the probability that a sample of 100 bulbs will contain no defective bulb, given that e to the power minus 3 is equal to 0.05. So here question, we are given a problem involving the kind of Poisson distribution. It is Poisson distribution. The Poisson distribution is used to model the probability of a given number of events happening in a fixed interval, especially when these events occur with a non-constant mean rate and independently of the times since the last event. So first question given is 3% of the electric bulb are defective. So 3% defective, and we are selecting a sample of how many bulbs? 100 bulbs. So we need to find out the probability of no ball is defective. So let's define the parameter for the Poisson distribution. And the first, the mean number of defects in a sample of 100 ball is calculated. In the Poisson distribution, it is write as lambda. So mean lambda means the mean number of defects. Lambda is equal to percentage of defective balls into the total number of cases. So percentage of defective balls is equal to 0.03 into what is the sample size? Sample size is equal to 100. So 0.03 into 100 is equal to 3. So here mean number of defects or lambda is equal to 3. So now we use the Poisson probability formula. Poisson probability formula is equal to Poisson probability formula, probability of x is equal to k is equal to e to the power minus lambda into lambda to the power k by k factorial. So here k means what? K is the number of events. In our case here k is equal to 0 because we want to find out the probability of non-defective balls. Then lambda is the mean number of events. In this case lambda is equal to 3 and e is the base of the natural logarithm. So here k is equal to 0. So we just put the value. So this implies is equal to e to the power lambda value is equal to 3. So minus 3 into lambda value is equal to 3 to the power k value is 0. Then 0's factorial. So e to the power minus 3 into 3 to the power 0 is equal to 1. 1 by 0 factorial is equal to 1. So e to the power minus 3 by 1 is equal to just e to the power minus 3. So right option is e to the power minus 3. So now substitute the given value e to the power minus 3 is equal to 0.05. So e to the power minus 3 is equal to 0.05. So e to the power minus 3 is equal to 0.05. So the probability of having no defective ball is 0. Probability of x is equal to 0 is equal to 0.05. So the probability that a sample of 100 bulbs will contain no defective bulbs is equal to 0.05. Thus the correct option is 0.05. Then question number 70. Which of the following is a non-probability sampling? Clustered, stratified, snowball and systematic sampling. So non-probability sampling means that not all the members of the population have a chance of being selected. So the selection process is often subjective or based on convenience and it is not random. So here cluster is probability sampling, stratified, systematic, these are probabilities. Snowball is non-probability sampling. So option C, because snowball sampling is a non-probability sampling method where existing participants recruit future participants from their acquaintance, often used in the studies where the population is hard to reach. Hidden population or groups that are difficult to access. So in this type of population we use the snowball sampling. Snowball means you see that in snow a small ball randomly when it roll from its original place, then it become larger ball. So this type of sampling is called snowball sampling, and all the cluster, stratified, systematic, these are the probability based sampling. So where every member of the population has a or non-zero chance of being selected. So this is the right option. Then question number 74. Consider that we have fixed type 1 error at 1%. Then so type 1 error means reject the null hypothesis when it is true. Type 1 means reject the null hypothesis when it is true. So 1% means there is one chance in 100 that we will reject the null hypothesis when it is true. So option A is right. Then question number 75. If MR is equal to 50 and price elasticity of demand ED is equal to 2, then find AR. From MR we find AR. So this is direct question. So MR, formula of MR is equal to AR into 1 minus 1 by ED. So here this implies MR is equal to 50. 50 is equal to AR into 1 minus 1 by ED value is equal to 2. So we write 2. So this is we can say AR is equal to 1 minus 1 by 2. So 1 minus 1 by 2 is equal to 0.5. So 1 minus 0.5, this implies AR into 1 minus 0.5 is equal to 0.5. So AR into 0.5. So 50 is equal to AR into 0.5. This implies AR is equal to 50 by 0.5. 50 by 0.5 means 500 by 5 is equal to 100. So right option is option number D, 100. Then question number 76, RM solo growth model assumes. Solo growth model, what is assumes? Solo labor and capital are substitutable. Yes, solo model, it says that labor and capital both are substitutable. So labor and capital are substitutable. This model assumes that output is produced using a combination of labor and capital, and these inputs can be substituted for each other to some extent in the production process. So substitute to some extent in the production process. So this is called as RM solo. In solo assumes that labor and capital are substitutable. Then question number 77. In Joan Robinson's model, the growth rate of capital is capable of increasing what? If the net return is capital rises in equal proportion to the capital labor ratio, or if the capital labor ratio rises is greater proportion than the net return of capital, or if the net return of capital rises is greater proportion than the capital labor ratio. Yes, this is the right option according to Joan Robinson model. Joan Robinson model of economic growth, the growth rate of capital which determines the accumulation of capital can be increases. So which can increase when the probability of capital increases more than the capital labor ratio. So this reflects the idea that when the return of capital grows faster than the capital labor ratio, the economy can sustain higher level of investment, leading to higher growth rates in capital. Thus, in Joan Robinson model, the growth rate of capital is capable of increasing if the net return of the capital rises in the greater proportion than the capital labor ratio. So option C is right here. Then question number 78, big push theory was developed by big push theory Rosenstein-Rodan. So big push theory given by Rosenstein-Rodan. Big push theory in 1940s big push theory developed by Rosenstein-Rodan. So this theory emphasizes that underdeveloped economies require large scale investment in industrialization to overcome barriers to development and initiate self-sustained economic growth. So the idea is that small incremental investment would not be enough. Instead, a big push is needed across multiple sectors to create sufficient demand and economies of scale, leading to economic growth. So this was given by Rosenstein-Rodan big push theory. Then question number 79, in Lewis theory of unlimited labor supply. Lewis theory, first one is marginal product is zero in subsistence sector. In the traditional subsistence sector, often referred as the agricultural sector in Lewis model, the marginal product of labor is effectively zero because labor is in excess and doesn't contribute to additional output. So here option A is correct. Then option B, the wage level in capitalist sector cannot be less than the average product in the subsistence sector. So this is also right. The wage level in the capitalist sector is determined by the productivity of labor in the subsistence sector. So if wages in the capitalist sector fall below the average product of labor in the subsistence sector, then workers would be better off standing in the subsistence sector. So option B is also right. Then option C, surplus value is reinvested in the capitalist sector. Yes, this statement is right, because the surplus value or profit generated in the capitalist sector is typically reinvested into that sector to stimulate further growth and development. So option C is right. Then option D, capital labor ratio is constant in the capitalist sector. No, this statement is not entirely accurate in the context of the Lewis model. In the model, the capital labor ratio is in the capitalist sector can change as the sector expand and invest more capital. It cannot constant. So option D is incorrect here. Option A, B, C are true. So option C is right here. Then today's last question, 𝙁𝙍𝙀𝙀 theory states that. So 𝙁𝙍 theory, 𝙁𝙍's theory of economic development, particularly it is known as a theory of vicious circle of poverty. So 𝙁𝙍 theory, vicious circle of poverty, VCP, vicious circle of poverty, it is related with feeding surplus labor. Yes, feeding surplus labor means 𝙁𝙍 theory emphasizes the problem of surplus labor in the developing economies. So the surplus labor often in the traditional agriculture is a key factor that prevents economic growth because these workers are not fully utilized in productive activities. So feeding surplus labor is associated with vicious circle of poverty. Then financial of tools, it is also included in vicious circle of poverty, 𝙁𝙍's theory. Then saving potential, it is also include saving potential. 𝙁𝙍's theory also discuss the issue of low saving in the developing countries. So low saving lead to low investment, which in turn hinders the economic growth and perpetuates poverty. So saving potential is also included in 𝙁𝙍 theory. Then disguise unemployment, separate theory given by 𝙁𝙍. So this is also included in vicious circle of poverty. So all of these are true according to the 𝙁𝙍 theory. So option D is right here. So this is all about for the today's session. So thanks for watching the video. If you watch for the first time, please subscribe this video for more such updates, and also watch the previous videos I have already uploaded, the Kerala sets from 2023 to 2020. So you can watch all the videos in the playlist. I have given the description playlist in the description, so you can watch. In the next part we are going to cover this 2020 February Kerala set. So thank you all. Jai Jagannath.